last thing that we expected to happen.
The pandemic has put performances on hold, but for some, the show must go on.
If you want to do that, you can do that. And I was like, cool, I want to do that.
Look at this. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
For talented Black artists, Gallerionics removes obstacles, allowing their work to shine.
There is genius that's being untapped.
Cool, I've got your book right here.
COVID nearly broke them, but innovation and loyal customers helped Elliott Bay Books pull through.
We love the store.
These stories and more next on CityStream. Hi, I'm Tatevik Aprikyan. Welcome to CityStream from my living room. The city is decked out for the holidays with plenty of twinkling lights, ornaments, and a bright, shiny star. But a dramatic rise in COVID cases has dimmed the spirits of the season. It's also paused a lot of live performances. Plays and musicals are on hold, but that doesn't mean the show is over. Art West in West Seattle is helping people connect with the theater and with each other in some new and exciting ways. Brian Callanan has the story.
Inside Arts West in West Seattle, you'll see lively productions just a few feet away from the stage, like The Last World Octopus Wrestling Champion by Justin Huertas. Or at least you used to see that here, before the COVID pandemic canceled everything.
I think we were all in total shock because it's just the last thing that we expected to happen.
Artistic director Matthew Wright had just wrapped up months of rehearsal in mid-March for St. Joan, a George Bernard Shaw drama about Joan of Arc. That's when Arts West managers let him know a statewide ban on large gatherings would shut down the show hours before opening night.
That was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to tell them. It was heartbreaking for all of us.
Managing director Laura Lee soon determined the entire season would have to be canceled, a loss of 75% of the budget for this nonprofit theater.
So to have, a big, huge portion of your earned revenue wiped away is a big, staggering blow.
So how does live theater fight back? Welcome to Temporary Occupancy, a digital immersive performance from Arts West and a group called Diecast Philly.
With digital theater, it's like a lot of the rules have been reset.
That's Diecast co-founder Brenna Gevers, a former classmate of Matthew Wright's. And she says temporary occupancy is essentially a choose-your-own-adventure online drama.
All right, here we are.
Viewers click to see actors who've recorded their own COVID-compliant videos, then respond to chatbots asking questions. It's an innovation born from a global health crisis, a crisis that's forced theater artists and all of us into a challenging moment of self-reflection.
I think that the pandemic has given the arts a great gift by making us stop and making us question the core values of what we're doing.
Geffers says bringing two theaters from across the country to work together virtually was a major technical task. But that struggle to connect during a time of worldwide isolation is the underlying theme of this project, and it hits home.
And in some ways, this work can feel even more personally connected to our audiences than traditional work because it takes so much more to make in some ways. The stakes are a little higher.
Yeah.
Back in Seattle, the Arts West crew has set the stage to reinvent yet another theater tradition, the holiday musical.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking for a while about us now. In the little time we've been together, how can it feel like flying on the daily?
You're listening to a song from A Very Merry Crackin' Tea Party, another collaboration between artistic director Wright and lyricist, writer, musician Huertas.
I'm excited that we're going to give them something that's slightly different than what they've seen before.
You and me together, we are meant to be. Well, I've never been in love with destiny.
The idea for the show started as a holiday sing-along, but Huertas asked Wright if it could instead be a holiday sequel to his Octopus Wrestling Champion musical from the 2019 season.
He said, if you want to do that, you can do that. And I was like, cool, I want to do that. I want to do that.
Did you have any questions that jumped out at you when you read through it?
And that's where some hard work began, as Wright and Huertas worked with an editor remotely to make this show come alive without a live audience.
What do we have left? The same things that we've been capitalizing on this whole entire time, which is the story, the characters, and the actors.
Actors like Rachel Geyer-Mifune, who starred in the last World Octopus Wrestling Champion and Temporary Occupancy.
This is your first step on an unforgettable journey.
Add to that it's the holidays. Oh.
Now, in the Very Merry Kraken Tea Party, she's hoping to give audiences the boost they need this winter and provide some hope for that unknown day when these seats will be filled again.
I'm just trying to keep the connections alive and make people happy. I want people to be happy when they see theater. We need something like that.
The creative team here at Arts West is well aware they could be facing some technical issues ahead. But shutting down? Not a chance.
I've been waiting for the dream to start.
Arts West is dedicated to giving back to its patrons. 82% of them have continued to donate during the COVID closure, even as this cast and crew develops the work in progress known as virtual theater.
Theater people are just super resilient because nothing is ever perfect.
So close.
And I think that that's what drives us, is continually chasing this impossible perfection in the next project, in the next project.
A lot of us are evolving in a way that we never thought we would, virtually, digitally.
When we say that we are theater makers and that we want to hurl ourselves into theater, we're already taking a million risks.
You can say maybe my love is...
But what is certain is that people will always have a need to connect by telling our stories, which means the show will go on, even when it seems like a pandemic wants to fade it all to black.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
You can find out much more about this story and take in a show. Just go to artswest.org. Next on CityStream, for talented Black artists trying to show their work, Galleryonics breaks down the barriers.
This is an open opportunity.
Between the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement, art has provided an outlet for a lot of people. Even with a renewed interest in Black culture and history, artists from African descent are still having a tough time showcasing their work. But they have an ally in the Onyx Fine Arts Collective. Producer Randy Yang has the story.
It's a mistake to look at artists of African descent as being only interested in painting images of themselves. As you look around this gallery, I'd say more than 50% don't reflect, say, a Black traditional image. We reflect the entire spectrum of what our experiences are.
Not always we paint what we think is beautiful. Sometimes we paint what we see that's painful. Sometimes we paint what we feel inside.
This is the image that I see in my mind. I have to put it on canvas.
Part of the Black experience, the way I see it, is that resilience, perseverance, overcoming, obstacles.
Onyx is naturally a black stone that comes out of the earth, and we see it as being an element that's somewhat hardened, that has strength and purpose. We know inherently that there's bias. A lot of the galleries would not look at artists of African descent, not because of the quality per se, but because you're not bringing with you a pedigree.
There was a time when an African American artist would go down to a gallery and they would want to hang their work. The first question that they were asked, where have you hung before? They couldn't say that. They couldn't say anything.
This is a springboard for maybe the artist who hasn't had an opportunity to show or doesn't have a sad reputation in the community, but can bring in work, and if the committee finds it worthy, you have a place.
Gallerists are in the business to make money. That's understandable. But at the same time, from my perspective, they ought to be in the business of looking for that diamond.
I remember him asking,
can you show me anything?
Well, just out of curiosity, I'm interested in seeing some of your other stuff.
And I showed him my work and he gave me the look. How dare you have never brought this to me before?
He says, oh, you're the brother that had that one piece. He goes, and when we all looked at it, we were like, wow.
Whoa, there is genius that's being untapped.
So then when I showed him that, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, are you serious, man? You know how he talks, yeah, man. And he's like, you only been doing art for 3 years, stop lying to me.
Man, I wonder what's in this brother's head.
It's okay, you oh, I ain't my brother, yeah. So
we'll say things like, oh man, I wonder what's wrong with this brother, but that's actually a good thing. That means that, I was impressed, I was blown away.
But yeah, he says, man, where you been hiding at, man? He said, where you been? You been locked in the basement somewhere?
Look at this. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
And because I felt so comfortable, I was able to say, no, I've been locked up for 15 years. I was incarcerated. I made a mistake. I broke the law. I paid my due to society. And during that process, I've had ample time to basically experiment and perfect my craft. If no one sees your art or no one hears your story, if no one sees or experiences whatever it is that you're good at and you contribute to the world, it doesn't mean it's meaningless, but you're not able to affect the lives and you're not able to be a part of what makes us great as human beings.
Our people still aren't received and accepted.
They said, we love your koi fish, but we don't like your more Afrocentric work.
I think somebody told me recently, like, why are all the characters black? And I was like, why should they not be? Like, what? Doesn't matter?
They asked me, okay, Troy, can you do something that's ethnic? I'm like, well, anything that comes out of me is ethnic. And so he said, yeah, I really like to see some ethnographics.
I've heard two schools of thought there. One, of course, is to feed yourself, and the other is to stay true to your form.
I'm a Black woman here, I do have a voice. I am creative. I am a professional. I do want to be taken seriously.
I feel that the other work will one day find its audience.
If you don't see the color of the skin and you walk into a space and you see artwork, people are going to be encouraged just because of the quality of the artwork.
Art breaks barriers, definitely. It takes the visuals, it says 1,000 words.
This is the only venue of its kind here in Seattle for a very progressive city. It's kind of, it's a little disappointing that we don't have more, but they have been here for us.
This is an open opportunity for the artists. It's an opportunity for people to come see what's going on in the quote unquote Black art community.
It's important for us to do this art and do a gallery so that we can kind of show, that we are at the table.
Onyx should have a permanent location here because it's not just pretty for the eyes. It's a historical, monumental thing for Seattle, and it should be one of those protected businesses, indefinitely.
To see artists of color succeeding, selling their work, getting into more and more venues every year, it's inspiration for me.
It's hard getting work up someplace.
But once it's there, no one wants to take it down.
These artists are going to continue to do artwork, and as long as they're doing artwork, we want to be there to show the world what we're doing.
Onyx recently signed an extension to its Pacific Place lease at an affordable rate, but at some point the directors would like to find a place of their own. If you'd like to learn more about the Onyx Fine Arts Collective or the artists in this story, just go to onyxarts.org. Also, experience a 360-degree view of the gallery and hear from several featured artists as they describe their work in depth. Just go to our Seattle in 360 YouTube site. Next on CityStream, how Seattle's most beloved bookstore was able to stay afloat during the pandemic.
We love this store, and none of us knows what the future holds.
Welcome back to CityStream. Well, a good book is a cherished holiday gift that never goes out of style. For one of the city's most beloved bookstores, the concern wasn't about going out of style, but going out of business. The dedicated staff at Elliott Bay Books refused to quit, and after 4 decades as Seattle's premier independent bookseller, its loyal customers also rushed in to help. Producer Layla Cosme takes a look.
I've been at Elliott Bay Book Company for 30 years. I love being able to put a good book in someone's hands. Before the pandemic, we were doing internet orders in a limited capacity. We made the decision to close our doors, and then I think on the 23rd of March, the governor's mandate came down. We said goodbye to our staff and furloughed the majority of them. The book industry, we're not innovative. We've been selling printed books for hundreds of years. Trying to figure out how to do business in a radically different way than we had been doing it for 47 years was a challenge. And so we closed the doors and we started doing curbside pickup and internet orders. The Little Oddfellows Cafe is temporarily closed, so we have moved our mail processing into the cafe because we needed a little room to spread out. We've got so much mail going out. And the orders just began to pour in and really sustained us. The notes on those orders, thanking us for being here. We knew that the customers were trying to support us. The reading series that we have done, we've cultivated that for over 40 years here. And the publishers didn't used to send authors out to the Northwest way back when we started our reading series. It is really at the heart of what we do, creating a free space for people to come and hear an author or hear a poet. We miss that, and I think it'll be a while before we get back to doing readings in the store. So we converted the reading room to our staff break room so that everyone has a little bit of room. In May, we started to think about what it would be like when we opened the doors, and so we started recalling staff in early June, and then the protests came. After the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, there was just an awareness that hit the country. History happening right on our doorstep every day. We reopened about the middle of August.
We're just asking everyone to sanitize your hands or wear gloves. To keep the visits about 30 minutes or less.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for waiting.
We had to rearrange our front desk and put up the plexiglass and reconfigure our checkout system. We have learned a lot. We've been doing some online events, so that's an option now that maybe we can do with authors in other parts of the world who aren't able to travel. We will definitely beef up our online sales going forward in a way that we haven't before. The idea of doing curbside pickup, that'll always be something I think we keep available.
Cool, I've got your book right here. Are you outside in a car or?
Yeah, I'm in the white car right now.
Cool, I'll run it right out. There you are. Thanks, guys.
We now have brought back or recalled, I think, over 2/3 of our staff.
If you can hang out in just a couple minutes. Okay.
We've learned how to do things differently. We've been innovative. We love this store. It's been here almost 50 years. It has weathered recessions. It has weathered ebooks. It's weathered the rise of Amazon. And, you know, none of us knows what the future holds at this point in time. Time will tell. But we're going to keep working as hard as we can to make it work.
Since the story first aired, the Elliott Bay Book Company has reopened to the public. If you'd like to browse through its collection, you can schedule an in-store appointment. To do that, just go to their website, elliottbaybook.com. We'll be right back. We end the show with a special honor for Chinese American veterans of World War II. During a virtual observance, the Congressional Gold Medal ceremony was recently held in Washington, D.C. Among the distinguished honorees, 103-year-old Jean Moy of Seattle. Producer Randy Yang has more.
Hi. Oh, hi.
How old are you, Gene?
103.
He is the oldest.
We come together today to bestow Congress's highest honor, the Congressional Gold Medal, on the valiant Chinese American veterans of World War II.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Once in a lifetime thing. I'm looking forward to it.
Tens of thousands of Chinese Americans fought and died on behalf of a country that for generations did not view them as fully equal.
They served in every branch and every theater with courage. They wore the uniforms of soldier, airmen, and sailors with pride. They fought and bled and died alongside Americans of all backgrounds.
These veterans are unsung heroes, and many of them never received the simple thanks our country owed them, much less a Congressional Gold Medal. Recognizing the impact of Chinese Americans during World War II is long overdue.
I was drafted in the March 41. See. Yeah. The war didn't start till December 7. Yeah, it was started on a Sunday morning. And then the radio says, Pearl Harbor and bomb, you know. I said, uh-oh. And then it was sent to Fort Lewis. And they found out that I was a cook in my breakfast. So they pulled me off the training and put me in the kitchen. You know. And they made me mess sergeant at the officers' mess. Then they sent me to Guadalcanal. From there I went to the Philippines. Oh, I feel like I'm real proud, to get a medal.
On behalf of the United States Congress and all Americans, I'm pleased to present this Congressional Gold Medal to the Chinese American veterans of World War II in recognition of their bravery and service and as an expression of our deepest gratitude and respect.
Congratulations, Dad.
Congratulations. What they did, I think they put on a good presentation. It's not what we thought it would be, but we're just fortunate that Dad was able to witness this.
Why was it important for you to join the service?
Well, to fight for your country. Yeah, defend your freedom.
Well, that wraps up this week's episode of CityStream. I'm Tatevik Aprikyan. Thank you for watching.